Hello everyone, welcome and thank you for dialing in for our webinar. Today we'll be discussing two main points. I am Remarkable, a workshop and transitioning from SRE DevOps SysAdmin to software engineer with our speaker Khushali Desai. By the end of our time today, we hope you will feel more comfortable and confident about the topic we're going to cover. We are very passionate about that and have many exciting stories and learnings to share here with you every time, so follow us to make a sense. Let me make you familiar with our engine first of all. You may expect the first presentation to take about 50 minutes and the second part approximately half an hour. We'll conduct 30 minutes question and answer part at the end of the session. And if you have any questions during the webinar, you may type them into the chat window. We'll address them during the question and answer discussion. The webinar is hosted by Google. My name is Nurlana Mollaeva, and I'm the community manager here and the third-year student of Azerbaijan State Oil and Industry University. Our main goal as community-driven open source accelerator is to benefit the audience like you and build next generation community. The webinar is co-hosted by our partner ExpertTech and its founder Vulgun Hadziev. You can find us in these social media platforms, and you're very welcome to the community once you fit. Our today's sponsor is All My Taxes, and we are thankful to them for their constant support. We have to follow their code of conduct. Main language here is in English. We are here to collaborate. It means learn, benefit, and contribute. We are equal despite our roles and personal accomplishments, and there are no marketing, selling, or competing activities here. Now I would like you to turn on your cameras in order to capture the moment and make our traditional photo shoot. Please turn on your cameras. Now I would like you to give floor to our speaker, Khushali Desai. Go ahead and good luck. The first topic will be Remarkable Workshop, and that will not be recorded.
Yeah, I'm ready. So
I'm done.
So I think the recording is continued. Yes.
awesome.
We already had 5 minutes break, so I would like to give a floor to our speaker to continue the presentation.
So I think I shared it, but I'll share again. I'm Khushali Desai and I'm software engineer at Target. I'm also co-chair for Indian Women in Computing at anitab.org. And I also co-founded HerTech last year in May 2020. And yeah, this is me sharing my personal experience from jumping from SRE role to software engineering. And if you want to look at this talk, it is also kind of a workshop kind of. I'm going to share what kind of mindset you need to have to go from software engineer role to SRE or DevOps role to software engineer role. And with that, how you are changing your mindset, you also want to build this qualities to become software engineers, or the skills that you will require, the tools you will require, like programming language or GitHub or some things. So I have made steps. Like first will be knowing your why and doing some research, what all questions you should ask yourself that I will discuss. Then preparing yourself for the software engineering role. Then second is how you should prepare for software engineering interview. Like now that could be debatable because sometimes interviews are completely different from what you are going to do at your work in software engineering role. So you will have to prepare for both of them. And then preparing your profile, getting ready to put that profile out and getting interviews, putting yourself out to recruiters, hiring managers, and what you should do after you join as a software engineer. So let's get started. And before we start, I also want to share that don't have such myth hold you back that you cannot become software engineer at 30, or you cannot do this, because you might hear some child person saying that, oh, I started coding when I was 13 or 14. And that does not matter. Like you can become software engineer at 30, and if you want to, and if you love doing that. So there's question. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's get started and let's see what all questions what kind of research you need to do. So the why, this is important, like knowing your why you want to become software engineer. Ask yourself, is it because monetary problem, or not just problem, you want to earn more money than you are making, or is it equal, or is it the learning that you are looking for, is it the personal growth? Or another thing could be, are you enjoying? Are you going to enjoy it? Like you feel like I'm not enjoying more in my current role and I want to change it. So think about it, why you want to transition from your current role. Like, and if you're not enjoying your current role, simply, there are so many other roles like product management, program management, technical program manager, architectural roles. So you can go into so many roles. So ask yourself, why software engineering and why not those roles? Because after 2 months into software engineering, you shouldn't be like, hey, I don't like this as well, I might do interior designing. So, you need to ask yourself, like, what is your why? And the second thing is, once you decide that you want to become software engineer, then there are these questions that you need to ask, like what kind of software engineer you want to become. You want to become front end, are you good at like CSS and HTML? Are you good at like, are you artistic person, and also are you good at geometry? You are going to enjoy front end a lot. If you are back end person, like if as you were SRE and DevOps, you might know about load balancers and API calls and Kafka queues and everything. So do you want to become backend engineer? Or if you think that you can handle both the things, you want to become full stack. So all such questions are also very important to ask. And which area, that comes the next question, because now software engineering is so vast and so huge. It's not just software engineering in just one product facing role, but you will need to ask, like, do you want to go ML and AI? Like, it's so hot right now. And also robotics, AR/VR. You want to become infrastructure software engineer, or you want to go to R&D, like research and development role. So these are the questions which are going to help you answer the next, like how you should prepare for the role, like for software engineering role. And before you do that, give yourself a timeline. I would say 6 months are always great. And the reason is, I read this somewhere, like I was doing some productivity research, and they were saying that if we have a deadline for a 1 week for some assignment at school or some at work, what we used to do, we will start doing it at last minute, last 2 hours, and we'll finish it off. So and sometimes some people will start 1 week ago, and they will take time and they'll finish it off. So it says, like, if you give as much time you give to that work, it will take that much time. If you give 6 month timeline to yourself, it will take 6 months. If you say 2 years, it will take 2 years. So this is very important, to give yourself some timeline such that you will have, and 6 months are always amazing to change your life. So let's go to the next one, which is preparing yourself for software engineering roles. And this is very important because with this one, we are thinking to not just preparing yourself for software engineering roles, but also this will help you to create that profile that you are going to put out there for recruiters and on your resume to see. So, and one thing is like choosing one programming language, like there is Python, Golang, or Java, C#, C++. It's like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? So don't get overwhelmed. Like, you don't have to know all of them. You should be good at any one of them. Companies out there, they might have written that, the person might be aware of Java, Golang, and Python. And you're like, oh, I only know Python. Am I not good for this role? No. When they interview, and you say that I'm good at Python, they're going to check whether you're good at Python or not. You will be asked to do some data structure and algorithm questions. And if you are not good at Python, then they'll be like, oh, this person said that this person is good at Python and he's not, he or she is not, then they're not going to hire you. But they're just going to say that what you are saying, are you able to prove that? So don't worry, like just be good at one language. And also you'll realize when you are in that software engineering role, it's always about learning. And it's not always one language. You will sometimes learn Go language, or you will learn Java as per your how your career is progressing. So that is very important. And be open. So, and everyone over there in like the recruiters, the hiring managers are also open-minded. They are also ready to take people who are good at one programming language. So make your fundamentals very strong. So how to make that fundamentals strong? Is it to like learn to code and use various data structures and algorithms, like see how you can create a stack or queue or linked list or tree and graph in Python, Java, whichever language you have chosen. And also learn these algorithms like sorting algorithms, bubble sort, insertion sort, BFS, TFS. Such things will make you good at one of the language that you have chosen. So next thing is create an application. So before you put yourself like your resume, you will have to make it ready, right? So you will need to show that you have done some software engineering work and you are passionate about this role. So you will have to show that either you can do what I did was personally that I had some idea at my current previous company, and I let my manager know that I want to code this for our team, and they loved it. So I coded it, right? So you can either do that, and if they are not open to do that, you can just code at your home, like as your personal project, and you can create this whole project that you have some idea. It's not just it should be personal. It could be like, you never know, you might end up coding next big startup for yourself. But yeah, whenever you are creating that application for yourself or for your uh, profile, these are the things to take care, like create that applications with REST API calls, RPC calls. Are you understanding what are those? Then about like having message queues. Are you taking care of security? Also learn about what kind of data store your application is going to use. Is it going to use SQL or no SQL data store, to gain knowledge about their pros and cons. So all such things you will have to learn. And these are the tech stack also that you will have to learn. And the last one is like get better at widely known developer tools. So like are you you can get better at either GitHub, Bitbucket, because there are version control systems and they are widely used. So I think being good at them will surely help you and get you started like more rigorously at your next role. And it could happen that company might not be using GitHub, they might be using something totally different. But if you know how GitHub works, how branching and master branch and everything works, it will be much easy for you to make that transition. And again, that goes same for the programming language. If you are good at one Java, it will be so easy to learn Python, it will be so easy to learn Go language. So yeah, don't hold yourself for just one language. Learn is software engineering. Okay, I think do we have question or something? Okay, I also wanted to say one thing, that if you have question, you can ask and interrupt me in between, and I could answer you as well. So
I guess for sure, if anyone will have any questions, they may write down them in the chat below. We may answer them now or keep it for question and answer discussion another day.
Yeah. Awesome. So let's. Sorry.
Can I say a few questions?
Yeah. Go ahead, Ravi.
Are there any difference between women and men manager styles?
I don't think there should be, but yeah, there are, as we mentioned in previous workshop, there are always stereotypes that women are likewise or man managers are likewise, but I don't think your leadership style should be like, there are different leadership style, like there are thought leaders, so that could be different, but I don't think so that we should stereotype someone. So, yeah.
And what are the difference between CRI, DevOps, and CSS admin?
Can you repeat, like, what is difference
What,
between?
what are the key difference between SRI, DevOps, and SUS admin?
Okay, okay,
SysAdmin.
yeah. Okay, sysadmin. Okay, got it. So the first one, SRE, Site Reliability Engineer, is kind of a role invented by Google, and it's kind of sysadmin plus software engineering role. So you will be doing operations work plus your day-to-day software engineering, something that in your team can develop and use. So you might be, it's like as a software engineering plus a sysadmin kind of role. And DevOps is also kind of developer, that's a dev, and ops, that's operations. So it's both DevOps, and there are like some like roles which require people to do infrastructure level software engineering, like create the service and take care of the whole service, the whole architecture of the whole company or small team. So to take care of those services, if it goes down, they were requiring this SRE and DevOps people. So that's how they are different. You can kind of say some companies use it interchangeably. Like some companies say it's SRE, some companies say it's sysadmin, some says DevOps. So it's not a lot of difference between them. And yeah, it's kind of looked at same. And I think if someone else wants to add something more, they can definitely add.
Thanks you.
Okay. Let's go to the next one, is preparing yourself for software engineering. Okay, I think I missed one. Okay, yeah. Okay, first, software engineering interviews, right? So there are two kind of interviews. One is system design and another one is algorithm data structures. And like both of this could have their own presentations, but I would share some few things which will help you from going from this SRE kind of roles to software engineering. So system design is, I think that's where your strength is going to be, because you are a backend person. You will be more aware of Linux and backend knowledge, and system design interviews are about those things. So prepare for system design interviews from your current role. What you can do is become little proactive and ask to be in those architectural meeting. Like I used to ask my manager to be more in the system design in like meetings with principal SRE or principal manager. So such that you will hear what decisions they are making and why they are making. And that's going to help you a lot in those system design software engineering interviews. And by doing that, you are, and when you go back and learn, like there are some books that like you have to read to become good at the system design software engineering interviews. And if you read, you will realize, oh my god, this is what my company is doing, or oh my god, this is something they are doing wrong. So you might go next day and ask your manager that, hey, why we are doing this. So they will also give you the cons and pros, because it's for system design interviews, it's not always one answer. There is always pros and cons. So you need to learn like why we choose this answer versus that answer. It's not like algorithm data structure interviews that, okay, for this question, this input, it will be this output. In a system design, it's completely different. So you can prepare yourself for system design interviews in your SRE role. So this is very important to take care of. So such that your preparation will be not that much heavy. You will not feel that much heavy preparing for system design interviews. So next are software engineering interviews for for algorithm and data structures. And I think Vivek from SRE Skills already shared so many amazing insights on this one. And yeah, I would share some very important and very small one. And I think one of that is like hear those tips from other people who are good at software engineering interviews. It will tell you how you should do this whole preparation. So first of all, as I mentioned, make your algorithm data structure knowledge strong, like build like how you can create stack from queue, how you can create queue from stack. Such small codes will help you go long way. Like if your data structure knowledge is strong, if your algorithm, you know what is BFS, you know what is DFS, this will take you a long way. And sometimes we think that software engineering interviews are not what you are going to do in your role. Sometimes you end up using those data structure, which you don't realize. So what are the things that you can use? Like, so you can use like lead code, hacker rank, interview IO, and gradually go from like, don't start with the medium or hard, it will overwhelm you. You can go from easy, then build up to medium, then go to the hard ones. Then another good thing to do is like joining communities like this, joining meetups where, you know, there are so many people who get together and help each other to become good at software engineering interviews and good at algorithm data structures. What will do that is it will give you some accountability and responsibility. Like you can even find a interview buddy. So that would be like you are accountable to someone, that person will be like, hey, did you do this? Did you complete all the stack questions from CTCI book? And you'll be like, yeah, I did, or you didn't. So that's how you can become more accountable to that. And last but not the least is do mock interviews. Once you are ready, you feel like I'm confident to take those interviews, don't just jump. Like you might be having like 3 4 favorite companies of yours. Don't just go like I want to go into Google or Facebook. Don't do interviews first there, do interviews somewhere else first. Like, so for that there are so many mock interviews available, so you can do those mock interviews and that will help you a lot. Do we have a question? Okay,
Yes, we
what are
have two
the
questions.
okay, yeah,
Hey,
what
Mary.
are the Yeah, what are the tech events or conferences should women join as speakers? How we can evaluate a company for creating equal opportunities before joining? Okay, so the tech events that you can go for speaker, the one good one is GHC, Grace Hopper Conference. The second one is Women Who Code. Then another one is Girl Geek X. I can write it down, Girl Geek X. Uh, they used to have girl geek dinners back in San Francisco and various companies. And now as we are all online, they stopped doing it. But yeah, those dinners were amazing. You can look it up and they have amazing conferences going on. Then there is this one also, SWE, which is like Society of Women Engineers. I think me and Nulana were talking about that one. Like we were getting confused between SWE and software engineering roles. Okay, the next question is actually very important and which I was having so much confusion. And I actually asked one of the VP at one company and she was like, wow, this question is amazing. I don't know how to answer. But yeah, I found the answer to that is like how we can evaluate a company for creating equal opportunities before joining, right? This is so important. Like after joining you realize, oh my god, it's just like my previous company where I faced harassment or whatnot. So how we can see like how people are different or they are taking care of diversity or not is some like the smallest thing is whenever you are talking to recruiter, hiring manager, or whomsoever is interviewing you, look at how open they are to you. Are you feel like they are judging you or are they are out to get you? So that way you can get to know about the company's environment How you feel like after you complete that interview with one company, just look at it, evaluate your energy. Did you feel like that person was out to get you, like to make you feel that you are not good at coding and everything, or they were like there to help you? Because software engineering is all about teamwork. It's not about one person's job. So were they were giving good tips, or were they were giving you like tips in terms of like, oh, this person doesn't know anything kind of tips? So be open to such things. Whenever you are interviewing, you can sense those things, obviously not that much. Another thing where you can look for is, you can ask this question, that how is the culture, how is work life balance? You can like, if you think that you got an offer from Google, you can like do cold email to someone who's working at Google, like 3 4 women, and you can ask them that how is your time at Google, how are you enjoying, how is like what I can do to be better software engineer at Google. And I'm just giving Google as an example. I don't feel like that Google is the only place everyone should be working, so no pressure over there. But or you can even do something like yeah. And another one amazing place that I have found to look for is the job requirements. In job requirements, some people mention like they are looking for this hero, or they are looking for this ninja person. So those are the kind of things which makes women put off, like, hey, I'm not a ninja coder or something like that. So such key points or keywords, you should stay away from that. Or I think now recently I've heard that if someone says that we are family, some people are like, no, at work we are not like family always. It's not family, it's another kind of, we are buddies, we are a team, but we are not family. So yeah, that could be like, whatever that is your perception, you can always go for that one. So yeah, be open to like such conversation or such sentences which might make you feel offensive. And for some people it might not make me feel offensive. It says we are family, so it could be different for everyone. So yeah, being open to such uh, receptiveness, I think that would help you to gauge, to see which companies are better for you or not. Okay, so now moving to creating your profile. So now you are ready for software engineering interviews, you have created your projects, now it's time to put them on your resumes. Okay, so all of this one, like updating your resume, there are so many YouTube videos or so many places where you can review your resume for free, and you can check with them what kind of keywords you should use and everything. So update your resume likewise for software engineering role, put your projects, update your LinkedIn, update your, if you are planning to create personal website, I think personal website is also another great project to have to learn software engineering. Then you can write, okay, now all these 3 things are ready, right? Now you have to create your cover letter. What is cover letter? It tells people that why you are looking to get into software engineering and what you are looking for. So what it should have is it should tell about your past, that what you did, your present, what you want to do right now, and your future, like what you are looking for after getting this job. And with all this past, present, and future should tell that with your why your past tells me that you want to transition into software engineering. Then why your present tells me that after becoming software engineer, what you want to grow into. So if it is, if your cold letter or your cold email is likewise, you are ready to reach out to hiring managers or recruiters. And also don't make it really long. It should be like 3 to 4 paragraphs, and each paragraph should have 1 or 2 sentences, like really small. And because some people don't look at it like for more than 2 3 seconds, and if your cold cover letter is boring for some people, they might not even give you more importance. So do take care of these things. Okay, now everything is ready, and now it's about getting the interviews and putting yourself out there. So there are two ways. Either you can go for in the current company, or you can look outside the company. So for that, looking into current company, you need to gauge, as I mentioned earlier, you need to gauge that how my manager or my director will react if I tell them that I want to become software engineer and I don't want to stay sysadmin or DevOps. So have that conversation. Like, see, what happens is sometimes if you tell them, they will look at, they might tell you that, oh, we don't have the openings for software engineering for you. We want to hire someone from outside. So now they will think that, oh, this person might go within 1 year or within 6 months. So what they will do is they will start looking for your backup. And if something goes wrong with the company, you will be the first one to get slashed. So you need to be very careful for having such conversation with your manager or your skip. So let them know, and know that, can I have this conversation? Is my manager that much open to have this conversation? If they are not, don't pressure or don't try to ruin your reputation at your current company. Then another thing is that reach out to hiring managers and recruiters in your company, as well as, if that is a possibility, then you can always reach out to your current company and different companies. So for the current company, another one thing is having good colleagues in different teams. Like if you have great colleague in different teams, so ask them what they are doing, what they are building. Do you think that it interests you? And ask them that, are they looking for new people? Can I interview for this role? Just ask them. And you never know, your colleague will refer you to his or her hiring manager, and they might interview you and you can get that job. So you can do it this way, or you can go and ask in different other companies. Another thing that you can do is shadow people who are software engineering. You can ask that in your current or different companies that, can I shadow this person? Can I shadow this software engineering engineer for 1 or 2 days? And you can see, you can get the feel of how you are liking the work. Are you liking being software engineer, or are you liking the company environment and everything? So all such things, and build that network. Like as I mentioned, like in previous, the communities and meetups, you will meet a lot of people. So create your network likewise. Okay, create your network and try to get referrals from them and at different companies. And also, apart from, yeah, I think the first three are the best way to go for it. The last one is cold emailing, like reaching out to hiring manager and hiring recruiters on the LinkedIn or via emails if you haven't, and try to get interviews. So these are the ways you can get interviews. And I think we have a question. Okay. The next one is, okay, now you can interview, get an offer, and don't forget to negotiate. And I think this three are also can have their own 1 hour talk. So I'll move the next. So after you have the offer, after you have negotiated, and after you join, what to do? So after you join your new team, these are the steps that will help you like get your imposter syndrome out, and you will not feel like that I don't belong here. So first of all, things that you should do is make your other team member know that you are what role you were in early career. Like, hey, I'm coming from SRE role. So they will know that, oh, you are not a software engineer. So they will take care that, okay, this things she or he might not be aware of. So they'll be open to teach you, because I've seen like amazing mentors at work who will be so open to let you know that, hey Khushali, this is that. So if you let them know that I was not a software engineer, they will surely help you. Then take it slow. And like, it's not important to, like, don't rush yourself. Don't feel overwhelmed, because there will be lots and lots of learning. So yeah, keep yourself open to learning, but don't don't pressurize yourself. The next thing is, do not get afraid of huge code base. What you can do in this scenario is start with small features in those huge code base, and know about like each and every project little, and you will be surprised within 1 year or 6 months, after working on small features, you will be able to gauge like how the whole project is. So that was going to surely going to help you. So don't get like, you shouldn't know the, as I mentioned earlier, you should not worry about knowing all the languages. It's the same. It's okay if you go for 1 or 2 first to 5 6 months. It's okay if you don't know everything, the whole code base. It's completely fine, and everyone understands that. The next is listen and take notes. Like, listen, that is one of the skills that we don't pressure ourselves to learn. We whenever we say that soft skills, we always think about speaking, we always think about networking and everything, but listening is amazing skill set to have to become a software engineer. And I think as in any role, I think it's very important. Another one is, do not get afraid to ask questions. So this one is very important. And what you can do is like, not just ask questions. Like, I used to be like that person who will just go ahead and ask question. And that is nothing wrong, but there is an amazing way to ask a question at work. What you should do is do some research on your own. Like, if there is this keyword I heard from some person and I don't know, what I would do is I will just go and Google search about it or read in some book, and then I will try to understand. And what I will do is, hey, I'm having this problem understanding this, or I'm having problem with this code base. I did some research. I read it on Google or Stack Overflow or this places. And I think this is what is happening, or I think this is what it means. Do you think I'm going in the right direction? Or can you help me? It's still not getting uh, compiling or something like that. So do your research before asking questions. That would tell that person that you are not just, you don't want the spoon feed. You are ready to work. You did some research. You are not just, because at a times when you do the Google research, you will be like, oh, this was easy. So ask important questions, but yeah, don't be afraid to ask those questions. Even if you, from your Google search, you got the answer, say it out loud that, hey, I did this Google search and I found this answer. Is this true? Like, is this what we are going to do over here? So they'll be like, yes, and they'll add up some more things. So have such conversations. So don't get afraid. And another important thing is, another huge issue with which we feel is like feeling imposter, which is like, you feel like that you don't belong here, or you feel like a fraud. So don't have that feeling. See, you started from SRE or DevOps role. You prepared yourself for software engineering role. You worked hard for getting yourself prepared for interviews. You interviewed, you failed, you interviewed again, you got rejected, you interviewed again, and then you got accepted, and then you are here. So you are here for some reason. You are here because your hiring manager, if director interviewed you, they saw the potential in you, and that's why you were here. There were other people who were rejected. So you are not here just for some random reasons. So don't feel imposter. Don't hold yourself back in such situations as well. And be proud of your hard work, and you cracked the interview. So yeah, as we mentioned in I Am Remarkable, you are remarkable because you became a software engineer. So be proud of yourself, because that's what you wanted to do. And so many of us shared, right? Once I set my mind onto something, I always go for it and I achieve it. So here, be proud of yourself. And last but not least, don't forget to enjoy this journey, have fun, and thanks for listening. And yep, I think I'm done. And if any questions, I'm ready to take.
Thank you so much. It was pretty much interesting, I think, for each of us. And
Thank you, Nolana.
Yep, appreciate it,
everyone.
Khushali.
Thank you, Sako.
It's probably next step for me as a DevOps engineer. So, good to have a handbook.
Yeah, and yeah, feel free to reach out to me. And I think, yeah, this is open source project at GitHub for.
Yes,
Yep.
all the community members may open an issue in GitHub, and it will be a pleasure for us to resolve them all. But I think now we can have a little bit
Let's
question
put
and
in a
answer
previous slide.
discussion. Yeah, two
see.
slides.
Yeah, this one.
This
Yeah.
one? Yeah.
Yes, yes, thank you. And
No, I
if
think
anyone-
let's put in the one, Khushali, with your. Yeah, this is. I think it's helpful. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask or write down to the comments or chat section. We will write them. I may start. I have one question.
I also have
Sure.
a question. Okay, Nurlana.
Who has?
Yeah, no problem. You may start first. Just
Okay. Let me take
today,
off.
today is day for women. You may.
The second 8th of March.
Boss first.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. So the question was, what are some of key challenges women face in workplace? Your opinion?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I've seen is being heard, because I've seen so many of my engineering managers being cut off in the middle of the conversation, or sometimes someone will repeat what they just said 1 minute ago, and then they'll repeat that thing as their own idea. So I felt very bad when this used to happen to another woman in my team, and she was engineering manager. So this is one of the things where, we say that, oh, we have so many women, but we need to see, are they in the pipeline as an early career, or are they in the mid career? Because that's where the real problem starts. In early career, women don't, if there is a problem in your pipeline, they will not stay long. They will start losing like the confidence. They will be feeling like they are not being heard and they are not being supported. So that's where they will feel like that maybe software engineering or tech is not the career I want to continue in. Another thing is like, and it's not just women, it's so many underrepresented groups who feel likewise, is feeling harassments or ridicule. Like I've seen some of them being like, in the, like someone will be harassed for their, as simple as their accent, what kind of clothes they wear, what kind of shoes they wear, what kind of makeup they wear, and what kind of jewelry they wear, and the judgments that come along with that. Or some kind of like, you have to date someone, I say, like if I'm your engineering manager or something, there is like so many women I've heard pressurized by their engineering manager or their like their higher ups to date someone in that team or in that culture. Like, or like if I'm Indian and if I'm dating someone who is not Indian, I'll be judged. So such different, and it's such a huge topic. And that's why I feel like so many women are fighting, and I do see the change now, because now people are getting more aware of it. Like sexual harassment, I'm sure you guys must have heard about it. So such harassment women face at work, and like I've heard like some women are like, if I'm a guy and if I'll ask you out and if you say no to me, I'll keep on asking you again and again, you want to go out with me, you want to go out with me. So such things that what we face are the problems, and I'm happy that at least we are able to talk about it and we are able to raise those points. And I think I'm seeing the change from like 5 years ago, and I'm sure it's not here, but we will get there. with help of great allies and great communities. So, yep.
Thank you so much. I think Rasim Madam has a question.
Yeah. I have a couple of questions. That's a general questions, but I would
Yeah.
like to hear from your perspective.
Sure.
You know, sometimes the engineering technical stuff starting from the initial stage, like associate, junior, and etc. And they are looking for some communities, especially open source communities, for contribute there and grows in their career. What do you think? How it's impact from your perspective? You can say that how it's impact open source the contributions to engineers' career growth.
Oh my God, it's going to help a lot because I'll tell you the reason. So when you are already doing open source, you can show the whole world. I think open source is very hard to do. Having your Git pull request be accepted in one of the kernel or one of the Kubernetes project, it's such a huge thing. And when you have such things on your GitHub already, when it tells me that you already understand this, you already understand what you are working on, and you know how to work in teamwork, it shows so many of different skills that you are good at, which are so important for software engineering role. So I think being open source contributor is going to help a lot. And I've seen some roles specifically hiring for such, like I've seen some of the infrastructure software engineering roles, they hire for such people who have already made open source contribution in some of the projects. So I think open source is going to have like help you a lot in having this transition or your role.
Okay.
Career growth. Yeah.
Thank you. But after, how to say, the engineers growing in their career, after some time, they need to move from the engineering part to engineering role to the managers. But how they should skip their engineering mind whenever to being the manager? From your perspective, how you can say about this one?
Okay, I'm a little bit confused. Like, can you, are you saying that you want to become engineering manager or you don't want to become engineering manager?
It means that you want to promote from the engineering role to managers.
Oh, okay, awesome. So if you want to have climb the ladder from engineer to senior engineer to principal, I'll talk about that one first, then because after principal or senior, you can become engineering manager. So I think before to grow in that ladder, in software engineering ladder, obviously you'll have to become good at software engineering. The second thing is you'll have to become good at communication skills. Third thing is you'll have to become good at system design. How is your architectural views, like how good your ideas are. You need to present them, you need to stick to them, you need to develop and like produce that product on that. And the third thing is, with all this that you are doing, are you becoming a good mentor? Are you mentoring others? And that's how you are you growing your leadership skills? That is very important to become principal engineer or become manager, because when you are manager, it shows that how much you can inspire another person to do their job, or how much credibility you have as a manager. If you don't, or if you don't mentor someone, or if you don't have that credibility to inspire someone, people will not work for you. So you need to have that leadership skill. There are like 4 to 5 ways of different kinds of leaders, and like you need to understand how you want to lead people, how you want to known for. Like, do you want to known for, I mentored this? I think we were having this conversation and Sako said he was mentioning about one of his mentor, right? So it is so important for them, like if they are mentoring good person or not. So those things, like the next someone will be like, oh, he's a good mentor, he'll be a good manager. So having those skills, leadership skills, are very important to have.
And finally, it's whenever I represented myself, I tell that I'm written in the feedback. I'm instructor at Azerbaijan State Oil Industry University. How the university teachers, university professors, or some the technical employees, how they can move to community, how they can contribute in the open source community, like a teachers, like a mentors, or like a science worker. I mean, scientists. Is it possible to change their mind from universities to the open source projects? If you have some experience from your how to say community experience or etc., please share with us and your perspective for this question.
Sure. Okay. So if you want to go from like open source communities, some of the like Kubernetes and all such programs, they have their own mentorship. Like you can sign up to become mentor. There are some committees they have, like you can sign up to become those committees, and you can like get involved with. I know about Kubernetes, that's why I'm saying Kubernetes a lot, but I'm damn sure that some other open source projects which are very high in demand, they do have their own, like I know LLVM, like so many other such programs have their own committees. You can try to join them. So and in that also you will have to like become good at it. You will have to get your code accepted, and then you can have that like go into that ladder as well. And also I think, as you mentioned about I think there are also research and development roles. Like if you are a student, a professor, and if you think like you want to stay in research and still you want to become software engineer, so I think R&D department is something that you should look for in different companies. Another thing is that I have seen personally some of my professors becoming software engineers. So they don't feel likewise. It's just that how much, like if a software engineer should know this, are you able to say that you know it and prove it? You are in. And once you are in, you have to prove it again that, yeah, I can code microservices, I can do this, I can do that. And if you do that, I think nowadays, nobody sees that as a, like what you were doing earlier as a, like a bad thing for your career in software engineering. Like one amazing thing that I wanted to share about my current company, Target, we have this program TLP, Target Leadership Project or program, where we hire people who were not software engineer in their previous roles. We hire them. If they did boot camp or they want to become software engineer, we train them for a year, and then they can come back to Target as software engineer. So like there are some people in my team who were not software engineer in that previous role. They were teacher, as you mentioned. Others were working at grocery store. The others were working at Target store, and now they are software engineers. So there is no judgments again in that. So don't worry.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Can I give my question?
Yep.
Can you give brief information about software configuration management?
Sorry, I'm not able to hear which one.
Brief information about software configuration management.
Can someone, or can you write it in chat? Software integration?
Software configuration management.
Configuration?
Software configuration management?
Configuration management.
Sorry, I don't think the question is clear. Maybe you can write it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What exactly? Maybe you can a bit more describe for what's it? Which software configuration you mean? You mean like from developer perspective, or you mean?
Yes, just developer perspective.
I think it's a bit not still clear. Software
Yeah.
configuration. If you can elaborate more.
Was it like infrastructure configuration or something like that around?
For example, about updates, changes made to software or trade kits.
I think she's what refer probably the maintainability of the software over time.
Okay,
How to make
okay.
it more maintainable over time. That what are the things to have in mind, because in 3 years it won't hit like the burden of maintainability. And
Okay.
What are the things that you would, as a software engineer, would consider it in order consider it will have development over 10 years, people will come and go, and how to keep it clean?
Oh, wow. Yep. That is very much important as part of software engineering role. So I think good comments, good variable names are very much important. Sometimes you don't have to comment, and your variables should tell what is happening, or your function names or the class name that you give, that should tell what that particular software is doing. Because what if I leave the company and someone next joins, how, as you mentioned, that how they are going to maintain that that software itself. Another one is, I think, the version controlling, good commits and good pull requests that happens, like good code reviews are so important, because that is definitely going to help us in better at like maintaining the code and knowing what is happening. Like if something breaks, most of the people who have done the code review or the person who coded should know where and what happened. Another one is, like, I was reading about this one, is refactoring. How good your code is in terms of, like, are you using the same kind of code again and again, or are you using the loops? So such small things are very much important in, like, managing your code, configuring your software such that it is good code. Like, there is good book about this one is clean code, you can read about it. Like, it will help you to become a good software engineer. That is so important, because microservices, data store, about this, that, but you don't know about clean code, how to write a clean code. That book is simply mind changing. So I think that one is a good book I would suggest if you are interested in such things, like how to become good software engineer or how to have a good maintainable code.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Humayun.
Thank you.
I have also one question. How do you think in 5-10 years span we will need less DevOps engineers considering cloud technology advancement?
I think as cloud is growing, I feel like we will need more DevOps SRE people, for damn sure. Because so many companies I've seen, they don't even have right now SRE DevOps people, and they are currently creating those teams ready. So I don't think so they are going anywhere. And also, it's not just cloud, it's also robotics and ML AI, the work that is doing, like the Neuro. We can see the like self-driving car already on our roads in US at least. We are definitely going to need more operations people. We are going to need more DevOps people. So, yeah, it's definitely not going anywhere.
I have a follow-up question for that, Khushali.
Yeah.
Do you think that these serverless technologies and all these functions that where you don't need any more maintain clusters and so on, they're going to impact DevOps? And the second question would be, because you were mentioning that it's going to go more and more DevOps people needed, the kind of question coming do you think still should transition from DevOps to software engineer as a next step, or it just stay and grow as a DevOps engineer?
I would say, I can say, I don't think so. DevOps is going anywhere because there are so many people, they will need it. And the way, like man industry, which are not even in technical, they are going technical. So the first thing they are going to need is one of the DevOps engineer, obviously software engineers, but DevOps they will definitely need. But I don't think so we should be afraid of to change from DevOps, at least from SRE or SysAdmin to become software engineer, because we think that after 5-10 years, it's not going to be there. Because after 5-10 years, if you start now, you will be manager or director or something like that. So think likewise. And I don't think so infrastructure roles are going anywhere. Infrastructure org is going to be there, and they are important part of your company. Like just imagine, like, do you think Google search is there, and if Google search goes down, these are the people who are working behind the scene. So it's, as more people are joining the Google or more people are using Facebook, we have seen Facebook goes down a lot nowadays because there are like 4 billion people together. So those are the DevOps and SRE are the people who will be there working off the clock. So I don't think so. And the reason, I think when I mentioned the why of that is so important is that, are you enjoying? Like personally, I was not enjoying DevOps and SRE work. I wanted to code more. Like what kind of code I used to do in DevOps or SRE role, I felt it's very repetitive. And some people enjoy it. Like if you enjoy that and if you love that, there is no need to become software engineer. But if you want to code more, if you want to learn more, then go for it. Like, because my curiosity was coming, okay, this I solved, but I want to see how that microservice was written. I want to see how load balancer works. So if you had such curiosity and if you want to become software engineer, then go for it. Go for learning. I think we don't have to, because it's new term for, there are so many people who don't even know what a site reliability engineer is. So I don't think so it's going anywhere. So rest assured.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions? I think it was a very productive session. Unrecorded part recorded. Everyone is a little bit tired and also updated in some way.
I know it took us 2.5 hours, right?
It was really great, Khushali. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I wish we could be able to also record the first one, because I think that more people should know about it, but definitely we're gonna share and post as much.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Nurlana, did we take the picture? I don't know if we take.
Yes.
Did we took? You took?
Yes, I took.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you so much, Khushali, for your effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can take, if you want, let's take the second photo shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
If anyone.
Shall I stop sharing?
Yeah. Yes. Hi. Open, please, your cameras.
Is there any sign for remarkable we can do?
No.
Let's
No,
say
yeah.
we are remarkable. Yes, I did it. Let's make a collage with 2 photos, before and after. That will be nice to compare.
I guess
you,
Khushali is a
everyone.
role model for the people on the Fox, Nurlana, but you know who are your mentor, yeah? And what you're gonna
Yeah,
do.
definitely. Any question you ladies have, you can always.
We need this, I am remarkable, we need this, make part of the culture as well, and continuously make the people and come speak. That's really, I think, was enjoyable.
Yeah. Thank you
Really
so much.
very informative. And I think
Yeah,
this
thank you.
knowledge we will apply in our not only professional but also personal life. because this kind of tasks, they are helping a lot while dealing with your own maybe personal issues or psychological, some distractions.
Especially this pandemic, I see a lot of
Yeah.
people just it's healthier than getting to some medicine. So definitely more people should talk about it and put aside all the shyness and complex. And we're all students. There is no stupid question that I think we should make in our DNA as
We
community.
are always learning.
Definitely.
So,
Awesome.
then thank you all the participants, and especially you, Khushali, for your effort,
Thank you.
your time, your patience while tasks. And
Thank you. Thank you.
No, it was amazing. I enjoyed it.
Sharing your experience with our community, it's perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
hope to hold
Thank you,
webinars
everyone.
with you later. And we will conduct any types of webinars that will be connected with the psychological state and promote this also.
Yes.
Thank you so much, and
Thank
see you.
Bye-bye, everyone. Have a
See you
great
guys.
weekend.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye. You guys are remarkable. Take care. Bye-bye.